A-level chemists, we have a polymerization question here, which might look quite tricky on the surface, but if we kind of have the fundamentals down, it makes this a lot simpler. So this is an amide or an enamide that we saw in my last video on naming. Here we want to draw the repeat unit. The first thing that we would need to identify is what type of polymerization is this going to undergo. Now, as soon as we see an alkene, right, carbon-carbon double bond, we know that we are going to get addition polymerization, right, where that carbon-carbon double bond is going to open up and then attach to the monomers on either side. So this is going to look, this at the moment looks a little bit scary because it's skeletal. My method and the way that I would approach this is I would redraw this in a kind of semi-displayed structural kind of way in a format that's going to allow me to actually see what's going on, right? Unless the question explicitly says draw this skeletally, you don't have to, right? I'm going to turn this into something that makes a little bit more sense. And the way I'm going to draw this, I'm going to draw it as if it was ethene. So I'm going to center this whole molecule around my carbon-carbon double bond. So I'm going to redraw it like this. Carbon-carbon double bond, that's these two here. On this carbon on the left, we have just two hydrogens. There was nothing there, which means it's hydrogens. And then on this carbon here, we've got one hydrogen. And then we've got the rest of this thing happening. What is that? That is a C double bond O NH2, right? This is the same as that. I've just redrawn it in a way that my brain likes a little bit better, because now that we've drawn this like ethene centered around that carbon-carbon double bond, I know that for my repeat unit, all that's going to happen is that double bond is going to open up. So what's the repeat unit going to look like? It's going to look exactly like this, just instead of having that carbon-carbon double bond, carbon-carbon single bond, same groups on each carbon, HH, just drawing them like vertically this time, and then HCO NH2. And then we're going to have our extending bonds, the ones that are going to be attaching to the monomers on either side. We can put the brackets here if we like. In your marks teams, you'll notice it will say ignore brackets. Okay, because if we were drawing the polymer where we needed like the brackets and the N, then that's what really matters. For just the repeat unit, technically